Hey everybody, it's Jenni from ChronicBabe.com, and today is another AWAP Wednesday. If you haven't been with us before, AWAP stands for As Well As Possible. And in all things, that's what I wish for you, to really kick ass and take names no matter how sick you are. Yes, I know you can. Each week I come to you with my personal favorite tips and techniques for crafting an incredible life beyond illness. So don't miss a video, subscribe today. You'll get a weekly video through my YouTube channel or check out my newsletter at ChronicBabe.com. You'll never miss a thing. Today's AWAP Wednesday video is different than usual because I have a deeply personal story to share with you and a request that I hope you'll honor. So stick with me. We've got a few minutes of storytelling here. Here we go. The past 4 months or so here at ChronicBabe HQ have been hellish. There's really not a better word for it. It's been truly awful. And I've been pretty quiet about the details. I've talked about it a little bit in the newsletter, but not gone into the whole backstory. So today I want to tell you what's been going on because I know a lot of you are going through the same thing. And I'm hoping that by sharing my story, that you will join me in sharing my outrage at this incredible thing that's happened to me and probably happened to you or someone you know, and maybe we can start to make a change. So here's my story. I've been taking an FDA-approved medication for fibromyalgia, which is my primary chronic condition. I have a bunch of others. I've been taking this FDA-approved medication for fibromyalgia for years with enormous success. The change from when I went on that drug from where I had been was just incredible. So y'all know me as this very upbeat, spunky person who runs her own business, is in a thriving romantic relationship, has a ton of friends and an active social life. I volunteer with my community garden. I volunteer on a national level with patient advocacy. I work out. I dance in my living room. I make it real effort to live well with fibromyalgia. And a big part of how I've been able to do that is this medication. So this year, my new health insurance company decided that the medication I've been taking for fibro should be classified as step therapy in its medication formulary. If you haven't heard of step therapy, let me break it down for you really quickly. It is an insurance company practice that is primarily cost saving in nature. And what effectively happens is patients who are taking an expensive medication are shuttled into this step therapy system whereby they have to take steps to prove that they're worthy of this expensive medication. Now, this can happen if you're brand new on the drug or if you've already been taking the drug like me, having been taking it for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something. So step therapy forces you to go through these steps, which basically are try other medications. So try medication A for 6 weeks or 2 months, or try medication B if medication A doesn't work. You go through these steps. And once you fail, we call it fail first in the advocacy community. Once you fail on these medications and your doctor is able to document that, then often you're able to file an appeal and the insurance company will prove coverage of your original medication. Sound like a load of bull? Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. You can read up on step therapy at this link down below. It's a statement from the US Pain Foundation. It offers an incredibly simple, succinct summary. So that's what I did. I went on step therapy. Despite my doctor's incredible opposition to this and my many years of success, proven success on the medication, I went off of my medication and went on to something else that is not FDA approved for fibromyalgia, but only costs a few bucks because it's a generic and it's been out there for a long time. And it completely wrecked me. Once I had transitioned to this other medication, I developed excruciating pain, like life-changing pain, incredible fatigue. I was sleeping sometimes up to 5 hours during the day, and that was on top of sleeping already like 10 hours at night. And I still felt exhausted all the time. I had incredible gastrointestinal distress that would keep me in the bathroom for hours a day, which meant that I couldn't go out and do a lot of the things I wanted to do, but I didn't have the energy or the desire to do them anyway because I felt terrible. I had cognitive difficulties, which meant that I had trouble remembering people's names, or I was having to write down all kinds of things I did throughout the day to help me remember when I took my meds or what I did or who I spoke to. I basically had to stop working. I stopped working almost completely. I was only working maybe an hour a day on good days. I stopped driving for almost a month because I was afraid to get behind the wheel because I was having so much difficulty. And it was also really painful to grip the steering wheel. You know, stopping working isn't something that I can afford to do. I'm self-employed. People depend on me. My clients depend on me. If I can't follow through and meet their deadlines, I don't get paid. And that meant that my business was in danger. And all of this stuff piled up. I mean, I stopped socializing. I stopped hanging out with people. I stopped reaching out to people because I fell into a deep depression. I mean, no shock here. I'm already prone to it. And then you take away the medication that has changed my life for the better. And now I feel terrible. So of course I'm going to feel depressed. And I was anxious all the time because I was worried all the time. And I was constantly filing appeals and calling my insurance company and trying to research how to get through this. And I lost hope. I had a stretch in there where I didn't know what was going to happen. And I just felt like my entire life had been taken away from me. Even though I had to stop working for the most part, I was able to keep the ChronicBabe Secret Club subscription service running because it doesn't take a lot of work each day to do it. And that was literally a lifesaver, a godsend for me, because it meant that I had some amount of income coming in and also some amount of self-worth, that I wasn't just this sobbing blob on the couch who, you know, kept having to run to the bathroom and then pass out in bed for 4 hours. It gave me a sense of purpose, which really kept me going. After about 6 weeks of this, I went and saw my doctor for a checkup, and he was astonished at the change that had happened. And he immediately ordered me to go back on my medication. And I think, you know, he was concerned. I was very concerned. I was very concerned I was in like a downward spiral that was not going to stop. And luckily enough, I had a stash of the medication that I had left over from last year, so I started taking it immediately, and I didn't have to pay out of pocket right away. So we were able to start the appeal process, which was great, and I was thrilled to go back on the medication. In the weeks since I've been back on my meds, I've gotten so much better. It's an upward climb to get to baseline even. I mean, I still have days where I can barely do anything. I still have lots of flare-up days where I can't work. I still stumble over people's names all the time, but I'm getting better and better and better. I've been able to start exercising again. I'm working more again. I feel more like myself again. I put on cute lipstick again. I'm getting back to Jenni, which is a really huge relief. But going through this process, it's like every day I'm having to figure out what works today. It's like I'm a brand new fibromyalgia patient all over again. It's like 20 years ago all over again. I feel like every day is a learning process, which I gotta tell you has me fired up to do advocacy, especially on behalf of the newly diagnosed folks out there, because I completely am renewed, and I remember exactly what it was like almost 20 years ago when I first got sick and didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I'm going to call that the one ray of sunshine in this situation, is that it reminded me of what we go through when we're first getting diagnosed and trying to get better. Okay, so the way step therapy is supposed to work, and what's crazy about this is there isn't a lot of transparency. Like in some states, they aren't required, the insurance companies aren't required to tell you what step therapy looks like. Like they aren't required exactly to tell you how many weeks or months you have to fail or what constitutes failure. We were not given any protocol for how to file our appeal. So we filed appeal after appeal that was rejected because we didn't know what the protocol was. So my third appeal was rejected. Finally, my fourth appeal was approved. I got a call a week ago that said that my 4th appeal had been approved and that within 2 days my prescription would be filled and shipped to my house. That was a week ago and I haven't gotten my meds yet. So I and my doctor and my whole healthcare team were petitioning the insurance company. We're filing the appeals. We've played their game. I suffered for months and continue to come back from that and struggle every day. We've filed every piece of paperwork. We've done everything the way that they say to do it after we pull the details from them about the process because they're so not transparent about it. We've done everything. I've been approved and I still don't have my medication. This is insane. This is criminal. In fact, in some states, it is criminal. In lots of states across this country, step therapy as a practice or some aspects of step therapy have been outlawed. And I've been doing advocacy work, and so have so many other people, to get this outlawed in Illinois, but we haven't won yet. Does this sound familiar to you? I bet it does, because countless people in this country are impacted by step therapy this year and in the past few years. And the thing is, the most vulnerable populations of people are those who are affected by this. People get their medications taken away. They could literally die without those medications. If you have epilepsy and they take away the drug that manages your condition and you have a seizure while driving or while operating heavy machinery or whatever, you could die. So I ask you and I ask my insurer, and you bet your bottom dollar I'm sending them this link to this video. What's more expensive? The $375 a month prescription that keeps me active and keeps my business strong so I can contribute to my community and my society and help other people and keep my home and keep my business? What's more expensive, that $375 a month for that, or me losing access to my medication, becoming basically non-functional, losing my business? People in this country become homeless all the time because of this. And I have all these resources at hand. I have a loving partner and a safe home, and I have all these friends who support me and believe in me, and I have a great healthcare team who's super organized. And I think about all these people in this country who don't have that, who are on the edge, who are living paycheck to paycheck, who could literally become homeless in a matter of days from losing their medication, who could lose custody of their kids because they can't take care of them. What's more expensive to this country, to this society? The $375 a month prescription, and by the way, I pay you a hefty premium to get coverage too, or the cost of people losing their homes, losing their jobs, losing their viability. Think about the prevalence of suicide in the community of people with chronic illness. Do you think that happens just because? No, a lot of people, it happens because they can't get the treatment that they need and they give up. This policy is deadly. I'm so lucky that I have all the resources that I have because I can keep fighting to get access. But even I, with all that I know, being a professional patient advocate and having all these people behind me, even I don't have access to my medication yet. I've done everything. I don't have access. What happens to all the people who don't have the kind of resources that I have? They're not going to get their meds. This is cruel. You know, these people need a voice. We need a voice. I need a voice. We need to fight this. This is not how the Affordable Care Act was supposed to work. This is not how we're supposed to treat people in this country. We need to help people have a voice so that they're protected, so that they're safe, so that they can get the drugs that they need, that their doctors, not the insurance company or some nameless pharmacy who doesn't even know me, their doctors who know them know that they need. We need to make sure that people are getting the care that they need and deserve. That's why I'm sharing this message with you today. You can tell I'm super passionate about it. It is so important to me, and so important to me, not just for myself, but for all the people out there that are so profoundly impacted. Look, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be angry. I've done that. It's so unhealthy. I'm channeling this intense emotion that I have into advocacy work and into trying to rile you up too so you join me, because we need as many people as we can get in this fight. You may feel like you don't have a voice, but you can help. You can speak up. You can take a number of steps. You can share this video on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and email a link to it to everybody you know, and email a link to it to your elected officials. In fact, here's a link that makes it easy for you to find out who all those people are. You can tell your story. You can explain how you've been impacted by this, or how someone you love has been impacted by this, with all your elected officials, with your local media. You can share it on your blog. You can share it in the comments on this blog post or on this video. Your voice matters. And you know, there's lots of efforts on the part of national organizations that help people like us. In my case, the U.S. Pain Foundation, they're doing a ton of work around this kind of advocacy. You need only reach out to whatever organization serves your community of chronic illness and tell them you want to get involved, and they will find a way for you to help. You don't have to get on camera. You don't have to tell your personal story in front of Congress. There are lots of ways that you can help depending on what you're able to do. Everyone can contribute. You may feel hopeless and beaten down by this process. I understand that, but you are not powerless in this fight. Advocates across the country are working together to end this shameful practice, and you can join them. Get loud. There's almost nothing more compelling than a personal story to convince a lawmaker to make a change, to convince a friend to join the advocacy efforts. Get loud. Help make a change. You can do this. Thank you for watching this extra long, extra passionate, emotion-filled video today. I'm so thankful that you've stayed through the end. I'm really appreciative. You can take so many actions to help. I listed all of them in the video. Share this video, tell your friends, join up with a national organization. There is a ton you can do. And if nothing else, I want you to share your experience in the comments below, because everybody feels more empowered when they know they're not alone and that they are joined in this fight by people who really care. If you liked this video, I really invite you to subscribe. My videos are normally a lot shorter and a lot more upbeat and a lot more practical. Today's a little different, but subscribe and you'll never miss a video again. And if you're looking for a little upbeat moment, watch the video I picked for you today, the next video. I think you're gonna like it, and we could all use a laugh. Okay, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for being here. I want you to go out there and be as well as possible. Be AWAP. Mwah.